Alrighty, so this is part 2 of my massive Blu Ray Collection video. We left off at American Psycho, so let's continue on. We have American Sniper, An American Werewolf in London, The Amityville Horror, great movie. The Amityville Horror remake with Ryan Reynolds, pretty good, not the greatest though. One of the better things that Michael Bay's done. It was pretty good. Anaconda, Anatomy 1 and 2, Angels and Demons, Anger Management, Annabelle. This movie's okay. It's okay. It's not. I'm one of maybe a few people in the world I think that actually likes that movie a bit. But this one's a hell of a lot better. Annabelle Creation. Love this movie. One of the better movies this year. Annapolis, Anomalisa, Another Stakeout. Probably one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen. Antichrist. This is the epitome of an NC-17 movie, like restricted, rated R, whatever you want to say. This is a horrifying movie. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's ridiculous. Ant-Man, Apocalypse Now. Sort of, you can't really see too much. It's early morning right now, and the light's obviously very bright, like the last video was. Just a little bit, probably even more brighter now. Apocalypto, Apollo 13, Arachnophobia. One of my ultimate guilty pleasures, Armageddon, Arrival, The Art of Getting By, As Above, So Below, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Haven't watched this yet, but just picked this up last week. Atomic Blonde, Austin Powers, The International Man of Mystery, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, and Austin Powers and Goldmember. This is a really good one from this past year. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, very, very effective movie. Very disturbing in a lot of ways. Anything anybody's ever heard of this movie, they're in a positive light. Believe me, it's true. This is a great movie. Very good. Probably a movie I've only watched maybe 2 times in my life, and that was both times in theaters. Avatar, The Avengers, Avengers Age of Ultron, The Aviator. Probably the most underrated movie that at least I would say Aiden Christensen's done. Awake. Anybody who ever says that this guy can't act, don't put a script in front of him. Don't put anything with dialogue. Just let him act like he does in this movie, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. I will do an analysis on this down the road. This is a great movie. Away We Go, The Babadook, the slightly overrated Baby Driver. I really love this movie. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. I just prefer Shaun the Dead when it comes to Edgar Wright. Bad Santa, Bad Teacher, The Bang Bang Club, The Bank Job, probably one of Jason Statham's most underlooked movies. I wouldn't say it's overlooked, more or less. It's probably underlooked. Nobody talks about this movie. No one, even I don't think many people even know about this movie, but it's very, very good. Yeah, Barbed Wire. Enough said. Alrighty, going on to the third shelf now. Basketball, Basic Instinct, Battle Royale, Batman 66 the movie, my favorite Batman movie story of all time, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Batman 1989, I believe, Batman Returns. One of my other ultimate guilty pleasures, Batman Forever. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Yeah, Batman and Robin. Batman v Superman. One of the, I would say it's probably my ultimate guilty pleasure of this year, at least, but Baywatch. I really enjoyed this movie for some reason. I can't really say what it was I liked about it. It didn't do what 21 Jump Street did with its material, but this was entertaining as fuck. This was a very entertaining movie. The Beast. Beauty and the Beast. The Beaver. Probably Jack Black's best movie that no one really knows about. Be Kind, Rewind. Bedazzled. This is childhood favorite. I love this movie. Before I Fall. The Beguiled. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Very, very good movie. Almost shot like it's shot like a documentary. If you've seen it, you obviously know what I'm talking about. Very good movie. This is almost like a compilation for horror fans of like everything you need. It's great. Big Daddy. Big Fish. Big Hero 6. Big Lebowski. Big Mama's House, the only one worth watching. Love this movie. Guilty pleasure. The Big Short. The Big Sick. Big Trouble in Little China. Billy Madison. The Birds. Yeah, I own this because early this year I was going through a phase of wanting to see some of the worst movies of all time, and this one popped up on pretty much everyone's list. I got about 5 minutes into this and gave up. I own it pretty much for just nostalgic value, I guess you can say. This is a terrible movie. This is awful. This is everything that everybody says it is about it. It's awful, but I own it. Birdman. Black Christmas. Black Sheep. Black Swan. Blade. Blade 2. Blade Runner, The Final Cut. The Blair Witch Project. The extra, one of my favorite movies of last year, The Blair Witch. This is probably the best slipcover that came out this year. I love this movie. This movie is fantastic. I don't know why there's actually a lot of negative hate, like hate for this movie. I don't know. I loved it though. I'm sorry, it's The Blind Side. The Blob. Blue is the Warmest Color. The Blues Brothers. Blue Valentine. Blood Diamond. Blood Diner. Blood-Sucking Bastards. Body Bags. Body of Lies. Probably one of Denzel Washington's most underrated movies. The Bone Collector. Love this movie. Finally got it a couple months ago on Blu Ray. Boogie Nights. The Bounty Hunter. Quick little story about this. I saw this movie the day after I got fired from my first job. That's what pretty much this movie means to me. It just helped me get through a really difficult time at one point in my life. That's all I remember about this movie. I got it for $1 at a thrift store, and that's all I can really say about it. It's a terrible movie, but I have it for that reason. The Boy. Boyhood. Boys Don't Cry. Braveheart. The Brave One. The Breakup. And Brokeback Mountain. So I'm going to end it off there, and we're going to continue on with part 3 We're just gonna start with Brooklyn. See you in a bit.